Okay, so we are back in the US after a quick trip to Monte Carlo to test drive the new 2015 Ducati Diavel. Now, looking at it, it looks pretty much the same. You can kind of tell a little bit of difference if you look at the front headlight. It's totally restyled. It's got an LED front headlamp that matches the style of the bike much better, I think, than the previous model with that oval looking train light that it had on it before. Now, it looks a little bit more tech, but it makes it look a lot tougher. Exhaust pipes are styled a little bit differently. The cans come up at more of an angle with a megaphone style rather than the round canisters it used to have. It's got a new seat, new shape, new padding, but the big part of it is in the engine. It now has the dual spark Tester Stretta 11 engine. Before it had the Tester Stretta 11, but now it's got the same dual spark technology that's on the Multistrada, that's on the Monster 1200. It basically helps make the engine burn fuel better and actually run smoother. And on the road, you can definitely feel it. I think that's the biggest difference from the previous model to this model is the actual smoothness of the engine. Gone is that down low, real chuggy feeling that kind of vibrates you and shakes you when you let the thing drop down in the revs. Now it's pretty smooth. Power-wise, they claim it has 4% more torque than the previous model, but to be honest, you can't really tell a difference. I don't think you would tell a difference unless you rode them back to back. In terms of handling, it feels just like the previous model to me, but that's a good thing. It's actually really amazing how well this bike handles, considering it has a 240 rear tire on it. It's low, it's long. You sit down in it, you've got, almost cruiser seating position, but I would say more of a standard seating position. But it goes around corners really well. It's amazing how sporty it is, considering it's a performance cruiser. Awesome brakes on it, as always. Brembos, how can you not like them? ABS works well on it. It's even fun taking the ABS off because it's so long, it's so low. It's really hard to get in too much trouble with the thing because, it's really hard to get it up on its nose or tuck the front end just because of the length of the bike. Traction control, works well. Worked seamlessly with the different riding modes. You've got urban, touring, and sport modes. In the morning, headed out, and we put it in urban mode, scooting around the city, and it's super smooth and super easy to manage. It's docile even. You twist the throttle and there's power, but it's very subdued, I would say. You click it up into touring and things are, they firm up and get a little more engine response. You got more power, but for me, the only setting that I really wanted to ride in all day was sport, just because it gives you immediate throttle response, gives you a full 163 horsepower, and the traction controls turned down to level 2, which allows you to get some wheelies going and things like that. And it's a hoot to ride. They say it's a cruiser. They're going after what they called in their marketing materials progressive cruisers, which is guys like on V-Rods and things like that. But it appeals to even more people. I think it appeals to standard riders and even sport bike riders that are, interested in it. It really is its own category, and it's hard to put it in any one category still. And I think that's what makes the Diavel so fun.